Montgomery County could be facing some difficult economic decisions in the next few years. After the break, we'll be talking with the County Council's president about the potential impact of an estimated steep drop in revenue. Well, for several years, Montgomery County has had a budget surplus, but new estimates are painting a far less rosy picture for fiscal year 27 from what had previously been estimated. Here's what the county's Deputy Director of Budget and Policy told County Council yesterday.
All budgets that the council approves are based on projections, and so those projections form the narrative. As seen in chart 1 on page 2 of the council staff memorandum, the reduction that we see in fiscal 27 sets the county on a path of reduced revenues and slower growth for the remaining years, compared to the June approved fiscal plan. The current fiscal plan projects that more than $850 million in resources will not be available to fund county services and programs, as again compared to what we saw in June.
And joining us now is County Council President Natali Fani-González. Council President, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Of course. And first, we just heard that there. You have just received the outlook. Just tell us how you're feeling about this.
Well, obviously, I'm not feeling great, but it's let me just go back for a second and explain to people these are projections within the next 6 years coming up, right, for revenues, FY26 to FY31. We're projecting at $151 million in reductions. And if you're asking yourself, why is this happening? Well, there are two reasons for these reductions. Number one, they deal with property taxes, right? They're projected to be less each of the upcoming years. And just on property taxes, we're expecting to have $500 million less. Then the second reason relates to income taxes. So we're estimating about $311 million in reductions that we're expecting. And those assumptions are based on wage and salaries of total personal income, right? So, and then you can ask yourself, why is this happening right now? Well, the reductions are assumed due to the federal impact headwinds on the economy. So you can think about, the federal workforce layoffs, tariffs, government shutdown that really hit Montgomery County. Nearly a year into the Trump administration, our entire DC region is facing the most uncertainty, and this is what these reductions that we're talking about reflect. And this is why, as Council President, I am telling my colleagues and I'm telling the public in general that, I'm going to do my best not to increase taxes, but at the same time, we need to be real here. If we're saying we're not going to increase taxes, in order for us to face what's going on, then we're going to need to make reductions. We need to cut on programs, and that's you cannot have it both ways. Yeah. So I look forward to the county executive's proposal for next year. He's gonna be giving us the operating budget in March, and the CIP is like the capital improvement programs early in next year. We're gonna analyze his proposal. And I look forward not to increase taxes at all, but that means that we're gonna have to cut in programs that we have today.
This is just what is on the table, what you're facing right now. Thank you again, Council President. We heard Gene Smith talk about the drop in money for resources. We know this is significant. You mentioned in there just the cut possibly to programs. Talk to us about potentially the impact to certain programs.
Yes, it could be anything. It could be, just to give you an example, the amount of hours that a library opens, okay? It could be how often the grass get cut in parks. It could be if we're gonna be having more projects related to building more sidewalks. All of that. Every single thing that impacts your life will have an impact. So, and again, the Trump administration was still, he's been there for a year at this point. We have 3 more years to go with him. And I'm a realist. I do math. Numbers don't lie. The reason why I was elected as the new council president is because my colleagues know that they have in me somebody who's, I am gonna tell you what it is. I'm a realist. I'm gonna do the math, and I'm gonna make sure that we're gonna be moving forward together, always protecting the most vulnerable in our community. That's number one for me, always. But it will also need to come in with the mindset that all this money that we thought that we were gonna get, it's just not happening. The projections are not there, and we want to make sound decisions to ensure that we have a fiscal responsibility in our county.
The real outlook here, and we know, Council President, the council, as you mentioned, they're going to take another look at the numbers in the spring. We also heard during yesterday's session that the county will be impacted by what's happening at the state and federal level. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, I addressed what's happening at the federal level with the layoffs, the scare tactics by the Trump administration that is affecting especially immigrant communities in the area. If you go to any ethnic restaurant in the neighborhood, you see that you find less people going there. And if you ask the owners of the restaurant, they will tell you that their sales have dropped significantly. And that's happening because of the policies coming from the federal government level. At the state level, it's also not it's not looking good either. So funds that we were supposed to get, especially for specific projects that we want to see moving forward in our county, they might not happen at this point. So I look forward to both what the Maryland General Assembly will accomplish in the next session. They start now pretty soon in January, and what the county executive is going to be sending to us early next year as a proposed budget. And I don't have any hopes from the federal government. I'm just going to be straight with you. So I feel that this is the time that the region also needs to work together, because whatever affects Montgomery County is also affecting DC, Prince George's, Arlington, Fairfax. I think the region really needs to be working in partnership now more than ever to ensure that we're creating more jobs, that we are really making sure that the safety net is there for the most vulnerable, and that we continue to ensure that the Washington region remains strong based on this situation that is happening.
Keeping a close eye on those new numbers in this new outlook. County Council President Natali Fani-González, thank you so much for joining us here live.